Join me in this Day 4 Disneyland Paris vlog where I'll be taking you off the beaten track. We'll be exploring Disneyland Park's walkthrough attractions, its shops, and the Disney Village. In addition to that, I watched the Frozen show, eat at the Unlucky Nugget, a Halloween overlay for a restaurant in Frontierland, and we'll be getting on plenty more rides. Feel free to use the chapters on the video progress bar to watch the segments that most appeal to you, and with that being said, hold on to your hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness. Yeah! Good morning, welcome to the Day 4 vlog from Disneyland Paris Resort. We're gonna get on the bus and head out of here. We're gonna head to Walt Disney Studios this morning. The plan is Crush, Tower of Terror, and then try and get in the Frozen show because that has huge queues and we've not done it yet this trip. So come along, let's have a great day. Oh, and of course that's not it. Once we do those first three things, we'll be doing a lot more. Don't you worry. We got more shops, food, entertainment, rides. Let's do it all. Come on, let's have a Disney day. Just at the bus stop waiting to get on the move. And also, just forgot to mention, as is the case with the other vlogs, we have the Disneyland Gold Pass. So I will be going in for early magic time this morning, as that is a perk exclusive to the Gold Pass. Much busier this morning for early ride time. A lot of hotel guests sneaking in. Maybe yesterday they got put off by the rain. Oh, but look, we're still doing pretty well on this side. They seem to have all gone to the Disneyland Park. This side we're, should be able to be right by a turnstile again. Here we go again, baby. You've always got to start on Crush Coaster, even if it's not your favourite ride, because otherwise you're going to wait 80 minutes later in the day, so that's where we'll be going. Through World Premiere first. As I said the other day, at the moment we got to go straight on, then take a right, hook back the Crush Coaster. And these employees here are stopping them from going to Crush Coaster that way, which is good of them. It'd be pretty sad if you tried to run around that wall and ended up rope dropping the flying carpet. Although hey ho, whatever floats your boat, you know. Taking a right. We're out in the East Australian Current. Yeah, dude. Unfortunately, I don't think Catcheroo Raleigh is open for extra magic time, else I know which one I would have started on. You do not want to wait in this cattle pen in the middle of the day when it's chock-a-block. That is not a fun way to spend 90 minutes.
Kids and cadets, you are about to enter the mysterious realm. I know. Which is totally awesome. Speed, legs, and fins.
Such a fun ride. I love any roller coaster that starts with a dark ride section. Think the Dragon at Legoland. That's why I love that ride so much. You're getting 2 rides for your buck, you know? You spend $1, you get $2 worth of value, sort of thing. You get a dark ride section at the beginning, and then you get the intense thrills at the end. Because as I said in day 2, when I stopped the recording just then, you get to the top of the lift hill, and then there's just a inside dark coaster section with all these kind of purple little dots spinning around to simulate the EAC. I know me and my dad were talking about this the other day as well. The fact that is, you know, a similar sort of size to Dragon's Fury, the actual drops, and there's a horseshoe straight after the first drop, just like Dragon's Fury at Chessington. But because of course you don't see it, and it's just the friendly Nemo theming. You know, kids are going to go on there and have a good time and not be scared of the intense thrill at the end, because it's hidden from view, unlike Fury where they may be looking at it going, I don't want to go on. You don't get screaming kids in that Crush Coaster queue line going, I don't want to go on, because they think they're just going to be on for a fun ride with Nemo and friends, and by the time they've got off it's too late to realise, you know, it was more than that. It was an intense roller coaster on the inside section, and then makes a theme park enthusiast out of them, you know. They realise, oh actually, maybe I can do these bigger rides. Anyway, sticking to the agenda, we've got the Tower of Terror coming up next, and we're straight into the pre-show. Epic.
Stay on the carpet, get near that phone round.
You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone. Hollywood, 1939. Amid the glitz and the glitter of a bustling young movie town at the height of its golden age, the Hollywood Tower Hotel was a star in its own right.
Tower of Terror was really good just then. I got a different one of the stories. So in the ones I've been having so far, the girl is telling you not to go in there into the tower because there's some sort of monster and you can hear it kind of following you throughout the tower. But in that one she said, be careful, you're going to get lost in the other dimension, and she was like, I'll try and bring you back. But then fails originally until eventually we get back safely, and she goes, you won't be so lucky next time. So just one more of those stories I haven't got this trip, but I don't know how many more times we'll be doing Tower of Terror, maybe once, twice at most. So we'll see if I get lucky and get the third one. But that was really good, and sat in the front middle, and you get a great view of Discoveryland, Space Mountain, and Le Chateau de la Belle or Bois Dormant, Sleeping Beauty's castle. I think I almost got that right, I was close. It just made me think. I remember saying to my friends a few years ago, what they should have done, in my humble opinion, on the lake they're building, is actually had Villain's Land at the back. You could have had Maleficent's castle, and this is before Villain's Land got announced. I said you could have Maleficent's castle on top of, at the back of the lake, and then if there was a roller coaster going around it at the top of the lift hill, you'd be able to see Sleeping Beauty's castle, which obviously is from the same film. So just like in the film, you'd have Maleficent's castle on sort of one side of the kingdom and Sleeping Beauty's on the other, and you'd be able to kind of see the two, and there would be this continuity across the two parks, but they did not go for that. But just before I go in, this really does look great. They've really given Studios the love she deserved. So I didn't go for a world premieres restaurant. I went for a little stall, which I'll show a picture of a video of in a minute. I got 3 Mickey waffles, and I said to the lady, oh, should I get Nutella or icing sugar? Because she asked, and she was like, Nutella definitely. I was like, yes, do it then, drench it. She was very nice. Yeah, looks good. Looks real good. Excited to tuck in. This was €7, no discount from the little stalls. But as I said, I'll show you the stall in a minute, just before we go into Frozen. So I just ate in this little covered seating area in front of the Tower of Terror. They've also got another snack band just there, and more seating there, which I don't know if they're using at the moment. And you can also try and get snacks from there. But the place I went is that orange van just in the distance, world premiere, does it say treats? I believe so. And I said, very nice. And I got my food a lot quicker than I did on Tuesday when I went into the Plaza Garden restaurant. Well, it's not Plaza Gardens, the Hollywood Gardens restaurant. Plaza Gardens is next door on Main Street. But, of course, as I found out yesterday, or 2 days ago, I could have been a lot quicker getting my food if I'd realised with my discount I could have gone straight up to a till and they gave it to me. So it ended up being pretty speedy. And then, second hack for that restaurant inside, you want to go upstairs to use your coffee coin to fill up with your hot drink. But yeah, watch that vlog for advice on getting breakfast at that restaurant in the morning. Which was the day 2 vlog. Also, I don't think I've even said the waffles were incredible. She was right to say Nutella. A wise woman. That was delicious. And not too doughy, the waffles themselves. And the Nutella just, I don't want to be that girl, but I dread to think how many calories were in that. But that was divine. That was pretty comical in the toilet. All the adult urinals were used, so not urinals, all the adult cubicles were being used, so I went for a urinal. But there was one baby cubicle left, like where the toilet seat is literally no higher than a foot. This 6'3" man walks in, kind of stares it up for a while, and I think he was waiting for me to leave before going in there. And then just as I begin to head out, I kind of check over my shoulder and I see he's gone in. He's literally up here. 6'3" guy and this little 1 foot toilet basin. I dread to think what happened in there just then. Right, thankfully I'm not the first ones here. It's okay rope dropping the Frozen show as long as you're not the very first, I think, being a adult single male. But yeah, it's now almost 9:30, so the riffraff are going to get let in a minute, which means I'll get in here because I think this queue's about to get busy once everyone else gets in the park. Because it makes sense, if you're a day guest, you should start at Frozen because you've already missed the rope drop for Crush's Coaster. That queue's already big from early rider. Well, maybe still go for it if you desperately want to get on it and Frozen's not your thing. But, you know, logistically, you would queue for this an hour and a half in the middle of the day. But if you come in at the start and go straight here, you'll only queue an hour. So, yep, let's see if it was worth me coming here straight away. Hi, Studio Max taking over here. Firstly, just wanted to say this is how you book a virtual queue for a meet and greet. I didn't want to press it because I didn't want to ruin a kid's chance of meeting Olaf, but just thought I'd throw that in there. That's on the Disneyland Paris app. So after waiting outside, I got put in this pen area. I love all the hand-drawn animation on the wall. So this is a sort of relatively nice area to wait in, even though it is effectively a cattle pen. You then get put in here, where in the old days you used to be able to roam around when there used to be an animation show afterwards with Mushu, and an animator on stage would talk you through the process of animation. Obviously that's no longer with us, that's now this Frozen show instead. The issue with this building here is you can't walk around properly because they sort of say to you, everyone fill up the room, and everyone rushes to the door. Then everyone behind you sort of packs in like sardines, so you can't escape from your spot to push past the crowd. But by the time everyone got in, the place was actually had enough room for more people to get in there, so I don't know why we couldn't have been more spread out. That was not well managed. They played Once Upon a Short, though, which was quite nice. I like that. little animated short they made for Disney's 100th anniversary the other year. But yeah, just a shame you can't see more of the Disney memorabilia in there as you wait, and the animation memorabilia, being a big Disney film fan. You then go into this first room with these really uncomfortable benches. You've got Kristoff, Sven, and Anna, and they're telling you that we're going up to the Ice Palace. The actors were doing a good job, but you got to think, in the middle of the day, you're queuing an hour and a half for this show. There were 3 actors, because there was this Sven sort of puppet animatronic thing, and Olaf in the next room is just on a screen. He's not actually a puppet or an actor. So yeah, this really isn't the best when you think about how long you've got to wait for it. It's a cute little show and I'd like to see it more, but just the process of waiting an hour and a half for this tiny little stage show is not good. Yeah, my advice to you, if you really want to see it, I got there at 9:30 on park opening for the 10:30 show. I would say you could have turned up at 9:45, so with 45 minutes to spare for that first show. But in general, if you really want to see this show, I wouldn't risk it. I'd get there and, straight away at park opening. Don't wait till 9:45 if it's really important to members of your party to see this. I hope that when the World of Frozen opens, this show becomes less popular, because I guess the Frozen crowds will hopefully spread towards there. Which means this show will hopefully be more accessible. You won't have to wait sort of an hour and a half in the peak of the day or an hour at the start of the day as I did. But to be honest, in general, long term, once World of Frozen open, I'd like to see this return to an animation style show, or something celebrating Walt Disney or something like that again. It's sad that that's been ripped away, and this is all we have left is this Animation Academy. There used to be this Animation Academy and interactive screens, but a good show. The actors did well, just a shame about the wait. Right, I was going to give my Frozen review now, but the construction going on behind that wall is so loud that I'll do it in a minute. Don't worry, you're not getting another Frozen review. Basically, my camera was filming for so long when I did the Frozen review that I think the file then deleted itself or cropped it, I don't know, which is why I did the voiceover review just now instead. They're drilling away down there, getting the tiles to match the rest of the refurbishment they've been doing to those pathways at the front of the park. This is that food truck from earlier, a little closer. World premiere snacks. Yummy. Was very yummy, Mickey waffles. Speaking of snacks, it's been a while after waiting for that Frozen show. Just might get another one in a second, maybe from the Marvel area. Still finding new characters here in Avengers Campus. Captain America. Very cool. Right, let's do single rider for Spider-Man, as we found out that you can still see the pre-show for that, and I'm beginning to enjoy it more this trip, that ride. And then we'll do single rider for Flight Force as well. Oh, but maybe first a snack, let's see. I think we'll do single rider first as it's here, and then get a snack from the food truck round there after. Scratch that, it looked like quite a big queue in the end once I got in there. And because it's rows of 4, not rows of 3 like on Ratatouille, it's harder to actually get a spot as a single rider, so I think it'll be quite long looking at the amount of people in there. So we'll try Flight Force instead. Single rider says 5, but we'll see if that's true. 15 minutes for the main queue. Yeah, but with this one, if you do single riders, you don't get the pre-show, so you miss out on the Iron Man animatronic, which is a shame. If you want to see the Iron Man animatronic, he is in, I think, my day 1 and day 2 vlog.
Let's celebrate!
I've come up with a new tagline for that ride. The ride I just had was an Avengers Assemble Flight Force, because the onboard audio was working well, unlike other rides where it doesn't work, which are Avenger Assemble's Flight Remorse. As you feel remorse for ever joining the queue. €4.50. You could get 2 for €8. No discount from that stall. Okay, we're going to pop over to the Disney Village in a second. I'm going to take you through there, look around the shops. But Together's on in 15 minutes, so let's watch this first. I just saw Together again, and I do like that show. This time I sat on the right hand side of the theatre, but was near the front. I would recommend, it's better if you come slightly later like I just did, it's better to still go to the middle and just head towards the back, because where I was being slightly closer and on a side, I can see quite a few of the stagehands who are helping to move like the props and stuff. And I can see a lot more of the cables and stuff as to how the actual effects work and stuff like that. So it didn't ruin the magic, but definitely tainted it slightly. seeing a lot of how the effects work from up close. I think you're better off, as I said, back centre if you arrive late, and just in general being in the centre no matter what time you come. But yeah, it's still a good show. You know, nice messaging that we're all different, but together we are great. We all bring our own flavour, sort of thing. Yeah, thumbs up from me. I think I still prefer Mickey and the Magician, because I'm an animated classics kind of guy more than Pixar, as much as I love Pixar, but Together was still pretty good. Okay, going back through world premiere, we're gonna do some shopping. Well, window shopping in Disney Village. Gonna work out what I would like the most from this trip across all the shops, and then we'll do some actual shopping tomorrow. But window shopping now in Disney Village. Let's have a look around. Also, just want to say before I forget, the song they wrote for Together is actually really good. Really like it. Also, in world premiere, you've got this sign with kind of different rooms, which would be in the actual animated studios, with the inside decorations being the animation studio on that side of world premiere when you're inside it. So when you leave studios, right opposite its entrance, you want to go through these gates, take a right, and you're in their downtown Disney shopping district, Disney Village. On the right hand side, just down there, you've got Vapiano's and a Five Guys, as well as an IMAX. Vapiano's is always expensive, as much as I like Vapiano's, but Vapiano's with Disney prices as well is a bit of a deadly combo. Same goes for Five Guys, always nice but expensive. Anyway, this is World of Disney, which is the biggest Disney shop on property, so let's have a look inside. I could do with a pair of gloves really, but then I don't know how I'd operate the camera with them on, because I think they're quite thick, would be hard to play with the buttons. These are fun. They made these a few years ago. You touch them and the ears pop. Quite like some of these mug designs. Oh, they didn't even have this in the Ratatouille shop, I don't think. Epic little vehicle. I actually have quite a few Disney vehicles from Disneyland Tokyo, as they make miniature versions of them. This one's a little bigger than the ones I've got, so I don't know if it would fit in very well. But I'm thinking about it, that's quite cool. I need some new tea towels for my kitchen. They are quite nice. Okay, so these two are the posters I want for above my bed, but they do these in a bigger size in some of the other stores I've seen, so I'm not going to get these two. I do like that as well though. Yeah, Remy one. Got loads of plushes, and there are some princess dresses as well behind me. As for the store itself, you can see they've got all these nice painting, like murals, all around the sides. And then Mickey, Minnie and Pluto inside a big old air balloon in the middle. Very nice. It's a much more pleasant experience trying to shop in here in the middle of the day than at the end of the day when it's carnage. Everyone comes out and piles in. Got your Disney pins, but in general, I mean, some of these are nice. I like that one. I like these too, Chip and Dale as the Phantom Manor gargoyles from the stretching room. But in general, the pins aren't what they once were. That's the one thing Disney have slipped up at over the years, I think. They're, yeah, not as classy as they used to be when I collected them, which is half the reason I stopped. Okay, so when you exit World of Disney, you've then got a cinema just here. I can't say I've ever been in there with all the films being in French. Well, I assume they're all in French. I've actually never tried to check. It's one of those when you're in a, when you're at Disneyland, I don't really want to watch a film. I want to get on the rides. And back home, I'm actually an Odeon Limitless member. I've been for quite a while, so yeah, I don't feel like spending money on a cinema ticket here when I go on unlimited for the uniform price back home. This here, I presume, is going to be another new restaurant. This was an old Western-themed dining show where you could eat and watch Mickey, Minnie and some cowboys. Not anymore. Whoosh. Torn down. There used to be a Mickey which used to scale this wall in his cowboy outfit to advertise the show. Like a static figure of Mickey, but yeah, that's been gone for a while now, I think. With all this demolition going on. Then you've got Annette's Diner, which is a nice place for an American burger. Also, I've seen on the app, they also do breakfast there. You can get a sort of full English kind of job. The only issue is I think it opens at 8 and the park opens at 8:30, so once you eat your food you'd be a bit slow to make it for rope drop as a member of the park going in early, be it on the Gold Pass or as a hotel guest. Here you go. However, if you're a 9 o'clock guest, or a 9:30 I mean, you could come here at 8, eat that and still make it in time for a good rope drop at 9:30. Or your rope drop, as I said, the general public rope drop, not the hotel or Disneyland Pass one. Because that is sort of what I'm missing at the moment when I've been... oh, there's the Panoramagique balloon. That is what I'm missing at the moment. Some more meaty, savoury breakfasts. It's all sort of sweet breakfast in the Disney parks. This is one of the only remaining remnants of the old type of Disney village with this art style from the 1990s when it was built in 92. It's all getting torn down and renovated as part of this big push to get ready for the world of Frozen and all the changes with studios, bring the park into the 21st century. I do like the theming bits in here, but some people online are really upset about the fact this will probably all get changed into a more kind of stylized modern version, but I mean the Disney parks have always moved with the times. You know, Walt Disney didn't want them to be museums, so as much as these are cool as a kind of remnant of the past, perhaps it is time to try something new, and we'll see what it looks like. I'll go in with an open mind. I mean, yeah, it's very much, as I said, a product of the 90s. You get that vibe in here. Which is fine, but as I said, I think maybe time to move on, try something new. I think this Royal Pub, I don't know if it's always had the same name, it's always been a similar kind of vibe, but this has had a bit of a refresh, I think. It's looking fresh on the outside. This looks just about the same. The Country West Saloon, Billy Bob's Bar, Snacks and Tex-Mex Buffet. Yeah, this is still looking the same. I don't know if this is going to get changed or not. So at the moment, this was the sports bar, which is getting renovated. So they'll do that Disney store just in next. And then we get to the modern version, which they've already completed because they've been doing it in phases. This building even says since 1992. Proud to have survived Billy Bob's Buffet. The renovation didn't get knocked down. So it might have had a bit of a refresh on the outside. Starbucks looked fresh enough, I think, as it was. It's been a while. It's been for a year since I was last here, so I can't really tell what buildings exactly have had complete renovations and which ones have just had touch-ups. So these are the new ones. Disney Glamour, Disney Style. The Lego stores had a touch-up as well. And then you've got Rosalie's restaurant down there. Rainforest Cafe, I presume, will go at some point. As that's still, very much a product of the 90s. You've got the old McDonald's there, and they're going to build a new McDonald's on the left-hand side of it. A bigger McDonald's, which they sort of need to because it can be a bit cramped in there at the end of the day when everyone's trying to buy their food and get out of there. So yeah, it's going to be bigger. More stories, I think, on that one. I think the steakhouse is still the same. There's a closer look at the McDonald's construction. And then usually you'd go around there towards the hotels. Can you just about still sneak through? Maybe. And that's the old McDonald's, well, the current McDonald's. Then these are little theming pieces from the Rainforest Cafe. I mean, they're really showing their wear and tear there. Paint cracking. I think they'll probably do something with this. I don't know if it's already been announced or not, actually. I haven't followed the Disney Village stuff too closely, except I remember watching these guys get opened recently. But yeah, I don't think it looks the best, the Rainforest Cafe. I think that will go at some point too, or refurbished at least. The tiny shops. I think these little shops change what they have inside them quite a bit. We've got Deco by Disney as well, also another new one. I think it looks fine. People have been complaining that the old school vibes are going, but I like to see the place looking fresh at least. You know, all this new paving. Paving. I mean, presumably they'll do the same for the rest. Slowly getting it done. Yeah, this Rainforest Cafe really looks a little out of place now, I think. Now everything's getting touch-ups, just the outside of it. The sandwich looks pretty fresh though. I think that'll be staying. Looks really fresh. Maybe this did get a touch-up as well. The comptoir, I think that looks new to me since I've last been here. This is definitely Rosalie's. This used to be Cafe Mickey, a dining experience where you could meet characters. Well, there's something, look at that, breakfast, that's Earl of Sandwich. That looks quite yummy. Apparently it's until 11:30 AM. Don't know what time it starts. As I said, I think Disney Village opens at 8, so presumably then. So that's Rosalie's. Looks very nice in there, classy. I'd like to eat there at some point in the next year while I've got the pass. This is the balloon, Panoramagique, which goes up. It's an upcharge. Okay, so over there in the distance is Newport Bay Hotel. This is Lake Disney, and all the hotels are around it, well, most of them. Then you've got Sequoia Lodge and Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel. If you go down there and take a left, you'll head towards Cheyenne and Santa Fe, which are usually the two cheaper hotels. I've stayed at the Newport Bay quite a few times, and that's really lovely, kind of nautical themed. Sequoia Lodge is currently going through a redo, I think, to be more nature themed, Bambi and stuff. I think maybe that's already been done actually, but they're touching it up further for some reason. I think it already had a bit of work to add more Disney characters, which is what they like to do with all these hotels. They've gone back and tried to Disneyfy them. So Cheyenne is a cowboy one, which a few years ago they put in more sort of Toy Story, Woody type characters, and Santa Fe was New Mexico, and so they put in Cars characters as a way of Disneyfying them. Same for the Hotel New York, was just a standard New York themed hotel until they added the Marvel characters a few years ago, for now the Art of Marvel. But yeah, I think we'll do proper tours of those hotels if I stay on site this year, which I hope I will at some point. Or maybe just on our next trip we'll have a walk through there. But we'll leave something for the imagination for now. And as I said, we can have a look through there next time we're here, or said if I stay at one of the on-site hotels, that will give me an excuse to show you all of them in depth, and we can walk through them all, and I'll show you the amenities in the rooms of, well, the room of whichever one I stay in, and I'll show you the lobbies and bars and restaurants of the other ones. We'll take a stroll through there next time I come, or the time after. I said, whenever I end up staying at one of those hotels in the next year on the annual pass. I say on the annual pass, you don't get to stay for free or anything. You've still got to pay full price, I think, with the annual pass. The perks are definitely not as good as they used to be once upon a time. You used to have a bit of a call-up service where you could get a room at a slightly discounted rate. I think that's no longer the case for annual pass holders from what I've seen. Perks have been severely reduced, but I think really it was a good deal at the time. So now it's more just of a fair price, if that makes sense. I think a lot of people took the price change pretty harshly because in reality what we had originally was such good value. It felt like a shock to the system that now I think $6.99 for the top tier pass with the perks I've spoken about, an extra hour of magic time, free photo pass, and 15% off actually feels fair for a Disneyland annual pass. Like I mentioned it to a friend of mine at work who loves Disney. I said how much it is for the annual pass, and she was like, that's a great deal, amazing, because she didn't know how much they used to be. And then I was talking to her about, you know, oh, these are the perks you used to get when they were €2.99, so basically the same thing plus a bit more. But as I said, in general, I think it's now a fair price still, so I'd still recommend purchasing one if you'd want to make, I'd say, at least 3 trips in the year. Anyway, let's go in Deco by Disney. This is the one I'm most excited for. I love homeware stuff, and I love the art, more importantly. It's a nice one. This is a pack of posters you can buy, which I've wanted for years. You get all these as little sort of A4 posters. I don't think I'll go for it this trip, but I would like it. Phantom Manor, Big Thunder Mountain, Pirates there, and you could just dot them around the house. But well, yeah, I'll have a think about it. Like this one, which is all the characters from Mickey and the Magician. I really like this landscape, but it's €449, a little expensive, but it's really pretty. And then this is incredible. It's the clock tower from the top of the Disneyland Hotel, and I think $149 is actually quite a fair price. Oh, it might be coming home with me, I think. That's beautiful. You've also got this duvet cover, which is the park map. You've got some nice Phantom Manor pieces, that Henry Ravenswood, which changes from him to his Phantom form. And a little Phantom, it's Phantom Manor itself, a little resin. Oh, and these books, they've got one for Phantom, one for Space Mountain, and one for Pirates. I've got the Pirates one and loved it, so might have to pick these up at some point in the next year. This is the bigger version of that poster which I want. And then I'll get the matching Studios one, I think. I do love that. Very cool. That's a nice robe, and also check out this little mini mirror. That's pretty cute. I presume that's the kitchen roll, so it would look like Mickey's pushing it out when you rip it. That's cool. Oh, but I also love these posters. Oh, I don't know. Oh, no way, they do the actual attraction posters as individuals, and then you pick one. Paper, canvas. Whoa. Oh this is game changing and also scarily expensive. The only issue is how do I get that back home on the plane if I get an actual frame? Really, I need a roll up. Well, this has just become a lot harder. Because that was the size I was going to get, not that smaller one. And I was going to get one of both, Studios and Main Park. But now I just don't know. Okay, so game changing, got talking to the member of staff. Turns out you can just deliver it straight to the UK. And he was like, no taxes, no nothing, it's all just included. And it will take 2 to 3 weeks to deliver. So that means I could just go for one of those framed canvases. Because I was worried like if I get canvas, I can't put that in my bag, it'd have to be a roll up. I'll have a think about it. The decision will be made tomorrow. It's the Black Pearl. Oh, I still like that Beauty and the Beast castle actually. I saw that in the Leicester Square store the other day. Nightmare Before Christmas. You've got attraction posters around the outside, but with Lego characters. I like that Pirates of the Caribbean one in the distance. Let me get closer to it. Okay, so that was the Lego store. Let's try Disney style. Guess Edna Mode is going to kit us out. There's a really nice smell when you come in here. Blimey. I like that Mickey one. That's classy. I really like that Mickey one. Only 125, eh? That's quite good. That's quite cool. I think this is that corduroy stitch one I saw the other day. Yeah. Welcome to Hawaii. I do like that. For the colder months with the hood. Seeing a lot of embroidered clothes walking around as well, which is good. I'm a sucker for embroidery. That's why I don't do a lot of merch when it's transfer. That's really cool. Suede collar as well, that's what you want. This is inside Disney Glamour. You've got a bit of a Pandora stall in the middle as well. And then more of these kind of designer collaborations. It's 329 euros for that one. But it's very nice, very nice. So that was Disney Glamour. Panorama Magique back up. Okay. I think we're done with Disney Village then. We'll head back into the park in a moment. Get some lunch. I'm still thinking about those posters. I might go back and ask if you get a Disneyland Paris annual pass discount or not. So it turns out I could get my 15% discount off the posters and the little clock face from the top of the Disneyland Hotel. So it's looking more likely. Kind of feels like it'd be rude not to. They're giving it away. Right, so that was the nets. We go back past the cinema and then into the parks again. There you go, nifty little sign. Oh, and that I never really showed you during the day. That's how you get out when you want to get to the train station and then the bus stops, which are just opposite. So as I said, a lot of people I think have been not the most complimentary about what's going on in Disney Village at the moment, and they don't really like the kind of bland nature of the styling. But I actually think it was kind of nice. I don't fall out with it. I think it's pretty nice to not be overwhelmed in there, with it just being kind of minimalist, classy, modern styling. So I don't mind it at all. That was quite a pleasant little shopping spree I had in there. Window shopping spree for now. And I'm interested to see what they do with the rest of the place. Nice if they could finish the tiling like this throughout the village. And yeah, we'll see what the last remaining few shops they need to redo will look like, and the new restaurant where Planet Hollywood and the old Wild West dining show used to be. God, that looks inviting, those open gates in front of me and Walt Disney Studios Tower of Terror behind, but I think we're going to swing right and go to Disneyland Park now. Oh, that clock face might be coming home with me. Wouldn't that be a pretty sight to wake up to every morning on my bedside table? Now this is live on the ground reporting. These panels have just gone in today because they weren't here yesterday. There you go. Shame this vlog will probably be coming out in at least 3 to 4 weeks from now, considering how long it will take me to edit them. There you go, first day of the pumpkin decorations and the Disney characters. Halloween posters going up there. Well, I guess they're more billboards by the looks of them. I don't know if I'm now just imagining things, but I think these green vines are new as well. Literally from today. That one might be an exaggeration. Those boards behind me definitely were brand new. But I don't think I have seen these yet. Right, I was going to take you through the Main Street stores while we're on a bit of a shopping spree, but I'm actually really hungry. So we're going to eat at Hakuna Matata because they only really do lunch service at the moment. Yeah, let's see what it's like. He just went straight into the wet floorboard. In the Liberty Arcade, you've actually got something inside here. It's a couple static figures chit-chatting away on the side of the ship, and the Statue of Liberty in the background. I guess it's the dedication ceremony of this new ship. The year is 1886. Just at the top of Main Street on the left, you've got Stitch meeting up here. Okay, walking through Frontierland into Adventureland and then Hakuna Matata's. Looks like Thunder Mountain's closed. You can tell because those yellow lights shouldn't be on during the day. So if you ever come into the area and see those yellow lights on, don't bother running to the front of the queue. There's the proof. I suppose it's actually been quite a while since we last did a ride. It would have been Flight Force. But I am a hungry bunny after that trip through Disney Village. So, restaurant Hakuna Matata. Let's see what's on the menu. So as you just saw, there are 2 places you can sit on Timon Terrace, or the Pumbaa side. I forgot what the Pumbaa name is now. I went for the beef sandwich, it's called. Oh, that's a bit stale. Oh no. With carved fries and a fused tea. €18 with the discount, $15.30. Let's find out if it's any good. On the topic of food reviews, I didn't mention how I felt about the Groot cookie earlier. It was fine. I didn't like it that much, unfortunately. But I am more of a savoury snack kind of guy over a sweet treat kind of guy, in fairness. But yeah, it wasn't up to much. Was pretty lackluster. Yeah, nothing more to say about it. It was just a pretty average cookie. As for the food just now, also unfortunately not much up to much. The beef sandwich I had with mustard, and there was onions, some tomatoes in there as well. I think it was okay, pretty passable, not great, but the curved chips were really nice actually, those curved fries. You can actually get it with sweet potato fries instead if you want to. I can eat sweet potato fries, but I prefer normal fries, so that's what I went for, and I thoroughly enjoyed them actually. Might be the yummiest chips I've had on the trip. You could tell they were going to be good when you saw that they had skin on fries on the side of them. Anyway, we're now going to try one of these walkthroughs around Adventure Isle. all around here, go into one of the caves. Actually, what should we start with? Ponce Spondu, Skull Rock, Spyglass Hill. Let's go for Skull. Ooh, let's go for the caves down here. I think there's is it Davy Jones's? Something or another. Oh, there we go. Davy Jones's locker. See, this is more atmospheric than yesterday when I was in the dragon place with the screaming kids. It helps when I turn off my camera and then it's able to focus in the dark a little better. This rope bridge is always down, well not always down, but it always seems to be under some kind of renovation or closed. I mean, it's such a big footprint just for people to explore and chill out. That's the Disney difference right there. Not everything has to be a ride. This doesn't look like it's been open in a long time. All sorts of trees, well not trees, vines and bushes growing there. That was pretty cool. Anyway, we managed to find Davy Jones's treasure and a skeleton along the way too. Is there anything in this cave? Oh, it's just Ponce Spondu. That's how you get up to the rope bridge from the other side. And there through the trees you can see Indiana Jones's temple poking out. It's a shame it's not open, but you got to close some attractions if you want them running smoothly. It is a 365 park after all. Well, maybe it is a different cave, not Ponce Spondu. Adventure Isle. What an adventure it is. Yeah, completely different cave network here. Ah, we're under the Robinson's treehouse. There you go. That's why we've got all these routes. It's quite haunting listening to the music down here, as opposed to the jolly atmosphere when you're actually upstairs. What's through this little bamboo? Ah, the root cellar. The natural coolness of these caves helps to maintain our store of provisions. I bet you can't see that, hang on. I bet you still can't see it, but anyway. The natural coolness of these caves helps to maintain our store of provisions in this tropical climate. We also consider their hidden depths a safe refuge in time of danger. And you've got sort of stores for their food and stuff. I've walked through the caves 100 times at least, and you're still always finding new routes. Ben Gunn's Cave left. Pont Flottant. Not today. They've actually got the story. This is all in story with the Robinson's Treehouse again. This is the ship that shipwrecked, and they used that wood to make their treehouse up there. I've never seen that before or known that about this place. The things you learn, as I said, that's what's amazing about Disneyland Paris and all their little walkthroughs and extra attractions. You're always finding something new. It's got to be one of, if not the most well-crafted theme parks going. I have actually seen the Swiss Family Robinson. I watched it quite recently. It's quite a good film. I was amazed what they managed to get the animals to do. I presume back in the 50s, animal cruelty was maybe not so frowned upon, because it was amazing what they could do with those live-action animals. Yeah, I don't know how many people were ate by different tropical species during the filming of that film, but like I said, without CGI, it's quite extraordinary how they get the animals to interact with the humans in that film after they shipwreck on the island. There's the pirate galleon. Hook's ship, not open today. As I said, this trip it's down for refurb. Looks like we can go up to Skull Rock though. That's still open. There you go, looking out its mouth of the skull. Oh, we can go upstairs. Here we go. Wow, this is cool, isn't it? I don't know if I've ever been up here. I can't believe I've walked yet again. I know I keep glazing Disney's hidden gems, but I've walked past this 1,000 times. I don't think I ever knew you could come up here. Wow. Very cool. Now I just need to find where Hook's keeping Tiger Lily and save her. It is funny because I think this is called the Pirate Galleon on advertisements for the attraction. But I think it's very clearly the Jolly Roger from Peter Pan, and would obviously make sense with Skull Rock being just there that we went up. Tell you where it definitely is a Jolly Roger. Tokyo Disney Sea in their new area. I loved exploring that whole Peter Pan section. I grew up next to Tower Bridge, so Peter Pan's always been one of my favourite films, because whenever I watched it as a child I'd be like, God, I could be Peter flying by Big Ben and Tower Bridge. All that fun and adventure aisle is, and this music is making me very keen for a ride on Pirates. Shall we see how long it's on? What does that say? 10 minutes, I think? Yeah, look, 10 minutes. Alright, let's roll. I reckon I'm losing my vision. It said 30. I think I assumed it was 10 after seeing something and a 0, because it didn't look too busy outside. But we'll come back later. It's always quiet on an evening, as I've shown in the other vlogs. Let's go into Fantasyland now, and maybe see if Le Pays de Contes is back open after it was closed yesterday with all the tarpaulin on the boats. It's not rained today, so maybe. Let's have a look. See now, this queue line is not in the extension. Yesterday morning it was out in this extension, using all those extensions during early magic time at the end, because it didn't open straight away, as you would have seen in yesterday's vlog if you watched that one. It was all the way out here, and it said 40 minutes. It's currently saying 65, despite being, what, 2/3 of the queue? Because they know once the Premier Accesses get let in, it's game over for that main queue. You will not be going anywhere very quickly. Looks like it's back and better than ever. The day before yesterday, half the boats had tarpaulin on. Then yesterday, all the boats had tarpaulin on. It was closed. It's come back today after 2 days off, or a day off, day and a half, and it's now got all the boats on by the looks of it. So let's get in the queue. It says 5 minutes, probably more like 10, but let's get in anyway.
La petite sirène. Ah oui, il va tous les coucher. C'est quoi?
Well, I just had the quaintest time on Le Pays de Contes. Such a sweet ride, I love that ride. And actually, as I said the other day, as much as I do miss Peter and the Wolf, that section, Frozen does work quite well with that frozen landscape. And also I like the addition of Winnie the Pooh, the little Mr. Sanderson treehouse. I actually have that Lego set when they released that a few years ago because I do love that design of that tree, of his, well, it's not a tree house as in he lives in the tree, but he lives inside the trunk as opposed to a tree house like the Robinsons tree house where they live in the branches. But yeah, such a cute ride. You can always see some Disney ducks around Fantasyland. They love the waterways around here. Quack quack. So I think we're going to go into the castle now because you can walk around the top and they've got all these stained glass windows of the story of Sleeping Beauty. So let's have a walk around there, shall we, as it's still peak of the day. So I want to try and avoid the queues if we can. As much as I love Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, as it is this dark ride, it'd be nice if we could get the improvements that California have. They could have made it a bit more family friendly and just brought it into the 21st century. See the evil queen up there looking out? It's like the Melanie effect in Phantom Manor when she pokes her head out the window. I think I did film it briefly the other day, that Phantom Manor effect, but maybe I'll try and get it up close today. It's hard to get it from up close because obviously the show building's on the hillside and this camera doesn't zoom at all, so yeah. But I'll tell you what, I also did the one in Tokyo. Tokyo supposedly is exactly how the old Magic Kingdom one was, and my god, it was spooky. It literally just ends with the old hag slash evil queen basically winning, or I don't know, it's not really sure what's going on, or like implied falling to her death. So yeah, I think it makes sense that the parks changed that version of the dark ride, because as I said, it was no joy to be had in that ride. It was all very spooky. Yeah, like what I mean is it's completely missing the final scene where they all live happily ever after. It just ends with like a really like intense spooky scene and that's it. Get off the ride. Thanks for riding. Okay, so for the walkthrough you just go up this staircase here. I do like Sleeping Beauty a lot. I don't think she's the most interesting of princesses. I actually did my dissertation for my master's on the Disney Renaissance and how Disney reimagined what it means to be a princess in the 90s and what it means to be a prince. And I'd compared them with the princesses of the 30s, 40s and 50s. They'll give anyone a distinction these days. From a Russell Group uni, I went to Exeter. But yeah, she's not the most interesting of princesses, but I do love the Once Upon a Dream song. It's got to be one of the best Disney couple songs going. I've listened to that very regularly. But yeah, that Disney Renaissance one was my master's dissertation. For my undergrad dissertation I did Richard Curtis rom-com movies, so very much a man of romance. A man in romance literature I was. Anyway, I stepped onto the balcony straight away. I should do the full loop, show you more of these stained glass windows. I'll go back inside. This, by the way, is where they shoot off the fireworks at night. That's why they had to close Fantasyland. Burn those spindles. I hope there isn't one left over which Aurora will prick her finger on. Oh no, what the hell is that? will say in Sleeping Beauty's defence, it has one of the most beautiful art styles out of any Disney film ever, with those Mary Blair backgrounds. So that's where you exit when you've come off the balcony. And then there's a wishing well, the castle stage theatre, and some more little pathways you can take. Also, in fairness to Sleeping Beauty, I have a huge crush on Aurora. I think she may be the prettiest princess. Her or maybe Rapunzel. Her or maybe Rapunzel. But then I also really fancy Pocahontas, because I think Colours of the Wind is also one of the most beautiful Disney songs ever written. I don't know. It's a toss-up. They all have their merits. They all have their merits. I love all the princesses equally. He says as a straight man, like I'm about to dress up as one of them. I don't know which costume I'll wear today. Should I wear my Tiana dress? I'm now constantly thinking about walking along these paths, thinking about who my favourite princess actually is. Who would I want to date? I mean, I guess Anna is actually a lot of fun. I always think that when I watch that film, she's the kind of girl who would just be a lot of fun to go on dates with. But I don't know, I also have a huge crush on Ariel. Don't make me choose. No one's making you choose, Max. This is self-inflicted. Please stop talking about what animated princess you have the biggest crush on. Right, moving swiftly on. Well, it's still peak of the day. Shall we look in some more shops? Let's look in the Fantasyland shops. And maybe head back to Main Street as well, potentially. Let's have a look. So we've got Sir Mickey's Boutique here. Yet again, one of those references I love from more of the niche Disney films, this one being fun and fancy-free, when one of the animated shorts in that sort of anthology film is Mickey and the Beanstalk, which was basically Disney's version of Jack and the Beanstalk. It's cool, all the vines in the roof. And then next door is something like something. No, it's not. There's something boutique. Let me check the name outside. But it's connected. Le Ménagerie de Royaume was the name of the second side of that shop, and then Sir Mickey's is the left side. You've got a little food stall there, L'Arbre Enchanté, the magical tree, because it grows apples of all different colours. I suppose L'Arbre Enchanté is actually the enchanted tree, not the magical tree. You've got Le Chalet de Marionnette, de la Marionnette, which is a restaurant themed to Pinocchio. And then Geppetto's here, which is a gift shop. Let's go inside. You just exit outside. Well, you exit through that gift shop when you exit Pinocchio's Voyage. Then at the exit of Snow White's, you've got a gift shop back here. La Chaumière de Sept Nains. I guess the shop of the Seven Dwarfs. Although it's Chaumière shop, what does Chaumière mean, I wonder? It's a facade within a facade for this gift shop. We've got some of the happy helping animals, and then you can go into her actual cottage. I was just filming that, thinking that was a static figure of the evil queen, but then it illuminates Snow White's face. All the times I've been coming here, never seen that before. In general, sort of speed running these Fantasyland stores, because it's mainly merchandise like plushes and princess dresses, so it doesn't interest me, despite what I was saying about dressing up as Tiana earlier. So they sell sweets here, but also actual sweet treats from a counter. They look good. There's a Rice Krispie Mickey cake in there. Looked very yummy. Here's a little seating area for you to enjoy your snacks, and you've got Cinderella's carriage over there as well. And then next door is L'Auberge de Cendrillon, which is the princess character meet and greet restaurant. So back in the castle, on the left, you've got the Christmas shop, which is all year round. On the other side you've got this Merlin store, which is mainly just jewellery and stuff. Okay, walking out of there. Let's either go to the Nautilus in Discoveryland or walk down Main Street. Within the last 10 seconds I spoke to you, I've decided against both of those. We're going to go to Fort Comstock, I believe is its actual real name. That's not me making it up. Which is the name of the fort as you enter Frontierland. You can walk around its battlements. Going to be very awkward if I've got that name wrong, as that's a pretty wild guess. Thank God I did get it right. Fort Comstock. It's Comstock. Oh, Comstock, not Comstock. Well, I guess it depends if you pronounce the O as a hard O or a soft O, whether it's Comstock or Comstock. Also, just to note, you've got this native Indian teepees out the front before you enter Fort Comstock. Comstock. I'm stuck on how to pronounce Comstock. Legends of the Wild West. Oh, that was not for the camera. I genuinely was about to walk up there. That shows you what good colours they choose for boards when they're refurbishing stuff. I was about to walk straight into that. Oh dear. Well, looks like it must be under refurb at the moment, because you can usually walk up there and then walk around these battlements here. Well, there's usually some sort of static figure in here. The Legends of the Wild West, they usually have a Buffalo Bill. And Buffalo Bill is also was the headline of the sort of name and headlining act for the cowboy show I was talking about earlier, the dinner cowboy show, which used to be in Disney Village. I think it was called Buffalo Bill's. Anyway, this is where you'd usually exit. You'd exit here, and I've gone around the top, and then they've got some more static figures and stuff around there. Also, didn't know, there are toilets just here on the right hand side as you enter Frontierland. I only ever thought they were on the left. And you can get closer to the teepees as well. Got to commend Disneyland Paris on all the toilets they have. You're never far from one wherever you are. Right. I think if we go in here, yeah, this is a little side entrance to the shop. I'll show you the front of it when we leave it. This is a pretty good shop usually because it has merch from Phantom Manor and Big Thunder. That music's my favourite from the Land's Loop. Originally scored for, I believe it was the Magnificent Seven, which I've seen that film as well actually, the original. They always have a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas merchandise in here as well, because Jack Skellington usually meets and greets in this area when Halloween comes. Got some more t-shirts around here. I like this figurine train. 149, but that is a hefty beast. So the Thunder Mesa Mercantile building there, pretty good for your merch needs. However, nowhere near as good as when I was in Tokyo at Western Wear. I bought so much of that merchandise. Embroidered jackets, embroidered jeans with Western Wear and Mickey, like with a cowboy hat embroidered onto the pant of the jean, or the pocket I should say. Yeah, that was quite something when I was out there. I spent far too much on that Western Wear merch. What else did I get? A nice shirt, overshirt, a cap, denim cap with Mickey and a cowboy hat. They know what they're doing over in Tokyo with merch. That's an example of one of them. That's the jacket I got. Embroidered Big Thunder Mountain on the back of it. Love that. And I did love it more because it says Western Land, because it's called Western Land over there rather than Frontierland. So I've got bragging rights. Whenever anyone sees it, they're like, oh, that's not Frontierland, that's Westernland. He must have been to Tokyo. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Okay, we're going to take a stroll over to Discoveryland. I think we're going to get a snack from the from Cafe Hyperion, and walk through the Nautilus is the plan. Well, that's the Disney difference. We'll have a look inside Constellations, which is the shop on the left-hand side as you enter Discoveryland. It acts as the exit for Buzz Lightyear's Laser Blast when that ride's open, currently under refurb. And then we'll head into Cafe Hyperion, I think. Mainly just generic merchandise in there. Plushes and, I don't know, Buzz Lightyear guns, that kind of thing. Right, so this is Cafe Hyperion. Videopolis is the name of the building. Cafe Hyperion is the name of the restaurant. Let's pick up a snack, see if they've got anything. If nothing takes my fancy, then we'll just have a look at the seated indoor area where, as I said in yesterday's vlog, they used to always play cartoons. I don't know if they'll be playing them today, I hope so. I hope that's still the case, that hasn't changed. This also sometimes acts as an entertainment venue during some of the different festivals they put on throughout the year. Looking very much just like it's burger meals in here, no sweet treats. They've now got boards you can order from, but I doubt I could use those. I think I'd probably be told to go to the counter to get my discount, as has been the case in the other restaurants. They have got some cartoons on. But is this Star Wars for Kids, I think, this show I've seen on Disney Plus. I don't know what it's called. So yeah, here's where you can sit down and show the cartoons on the screens, and then on that stage sometimes they'll put on different live shows depending on the time of year. Yeah, when I was a kid it was mainly just Mickey Mouse shorts they'd put on here, but I guess the times change. This used to be an arcade, Arcade Alpha. You can now go in there to buy portable chargers. Arcade Beta over here looks to be a meet and greet for some times of the year. Don't know when that was last used. The burgers did look pretty yummy in there when I was walking past everyone in Videopolis. But I think we're going to go somewhere a little more special tonight. I think we'll go to the Unlucky Nugget for kind of, it's like almost an actual sit-down sort of service meal, but isn't. I'll explain when we get there tonight. Oh, and because they've got these boards up outside Videopolis, I haven't even noticed this whole trip. I mean, I've seen it many times before, but I haven't even really taken it in because no one's walking down this path. Wally! My friend Thea came to a housewarming I threw the other day, and she bought me a Lego set. Her and her boyfriend Zach got me a Wally and Eve Lego Brickhead set, so I know you're watching, Thea. Thank you very much. Daisy's just meeting there. This is the Discoveryland station, which most recently has been used as Lounge Lightspeed, a Star Wars themed cocktail bar. You usually would walk up there and get the train, but instead, around where the X-Wing is, just there, they've been serving cocktails and drinks while Star Wars characters come around. It's not on at the moment, but as I said in the other vlog, I'm a little confused why they don't give us something in return, give us the train back, if Lounge Lightspeed isn't on. Anyway, I was going to go to the Nautilus, we will get to the Nautilus, but I want to show you this secret path. This path is only open when the parade isn't on, because it actually cuts through the parade route. Semi uses the parade route as a little shortcut to Fantasyland, which is good to know. Let me show you. So yeah, literally that is the back end of Discoveryland where the station is, and the back side of Space Mountain, and that is It's a Small World. So, you know, geographically so close, and yet it's quite a trek if you want to get from one to the other when this path's not open. So yeah, these gates will close just before the parade begins, and the parade floats come from just up here, and they'll close off this pathway just behind there. That's the beginning of the parade route just behind me here, And then here's the sign back to Discoveryland. Alright, let's go back there then, and we'll, I've been talking about it for ages, let's finally have a look through the Nautilus. Okay, so we'll keep walking past Star Tours, go this way around Space Mountain, if you see what I mean, and then we'll come back to the Nautilus. If you want to get to the Nautilus quicker from Main Street, you would get to Space Mountain and take a right, and the entrance is just on the right of Space Mountain. Just here. That's the entrance to the Nautilus. You go down some stairs, you think you're getting on the submarine there, but you're actually walking that way to a show building where the attraction is housed. So, that's the submarine's tail there. That's the submarine itself. This is not an actual ride like the one in Tokyo Disney Sea, which was good fun when I went there a few months ago. It's just a walk-through attraction. This used to have a huge squid attack at the end of the film, at the end of the ride, which is from the film, which I've seen and is a good film. However, that squid attack is now gone after an extensive refurb, which is a shame. It's a really incredible puppet, sort of animatronic, which was really sort of a core memory from my childhood as being particularly spooky. There goes Space Mountain up the lift hill. That's no longer with us, it's now a screen with dolphins, I think. So very much got rid of the eerie atmosphere that was created before, but regardless, we'll go in and see what it's like. I've not seen it with the changes, I think. Just head in on the left here. See, so because you've done a spiral staircase, you think you could be walking back towards where the submarine is, as in the facade for it, but actually this walkway is taking us just beyond the park's boundary to the show building. But of course, because it's a spiral staircase, it's disorienting, so you don't know how many turns you've actually done, so you think you could be going towards the actual submarine itself. Hopefully I've explained that well. Captain Nemo's treasure. I actually only just watched Disney's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea about a year ago. This is the first time I've walked through here because it was in preparation for me going to Tokyo and seeing, well, this is in Tokyo basically. They've made Mount Vulcan, which has a slot car ride called Journey to the Centre of the Earth, and then you've got 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as a submarine ride around the outside, and they've recreated that whole mystery island. Volcania. But yeah, as I said, it's not quite as good as Tokyo this, but it's still quite impressive. See, in here the organ used to play the haunting music from the film, and it was a lot more intense and kind of spooky, but not so much anymore. And this was the squid, but obviously they had a much bigger version, which would appear behind the screen I'm about to show you.
Let's have a look, shall we?
Which would appear behind that screen.
Be seated.
Now we've just got some turtles.
Avec leur vision très...
Captain Nemo's organ. Now we're heading back off the submarine. Now that's the view to come out to. So that's the first time I've walked through there in years and years, because it was didn't look like it would ever reopen at one point, then under extensive refurb, finally open again, and I haven't been back for 3 years. Yeah, I just remember as a kid just thinking that was so creepy and eerie and just such an sort of intense experience, but like not so much that, you know, you'd wet your pants or loads of kids can go on it, but it was just a lot more atmospheric. I think it's nice that they've still kept the theme being 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, obviously based on the original Jules Verne book. I am an English literature student and film student, well I should say graduate. I did both. I know it was originally a book and then Disney made a film by Jules Verne, the book, same as De la Terre à la Lune, which is what the original Space Mountain was based off. But yeah, as I said, we could have lost it entirely as a theme. We could have lost that Jules Verne aspect to it, and they could have changed it to Nemo or some crap. So, I mean, I like Nemo, but it doesn't belong here. Here should be like how it is in Tokyo, just completely Jules Verne, you know, bish bash bosh, well themed masterpiece of an attraction. Well, two attractions next to each other. But yeah, so happy Nemo's continued, as in Captain Nemo, not Finding Nemo. But a shame it's not as atmospheric as it once was in there. I really missed that squid kind of animatronic puppet. It was quite something. But I would also like to say I understand why they've made the changes. Well, number one is probably cutbacks, because it's cheaper to maintain a screen than a really large animatronic. And number two, I guess it's more family friendly now, I guess, with it being less atmospheric, without that organ playing and the big squid attack. Okay, next order of business, let's go down Main Street, see if we can find a little snack, and we'll have a look in the shops as well. We've got Victoria's Homestyle Restaurant here at the top of Main Street. I think this mainly does sweet treats and alcoholic beverages from what I can see in the window. The Gibson Girl is unfortunately closed. Maybe it's just a summer offering. They usually do ice creams. Cable Car Bake Shop, which doubles up with the cookie kitchen. We ate in there for breakfast on day 3. No, yeah, day 3. I'd get a sweet treat from the outside window, but it's quite a big queue because the parade's starting in an hour, so people get their snacks and then sit down and wait for it to come along. What's next along here? Harrington's. Let's have a look inside. It's very classy in Harrington's. All sorts of glass pieces and nice figurine resin types. There's that one I saw earlier in Disney Village. We're going to go through the arcades to shop, I think, on this side. Gone from Harrington's. I think next is the Market House Deli. That's where we got a croque monsieur the other day. Let's keep going. You've got Disney's Clothiers opposite the Market House. I just came from that arcade. You can stay inside, but I thought we'd try this little door here. This is also known as Main Street Motors if you enter from the Main Street side. I tell a lie, this is Disney Clothier and then this is Main Street Motors next door, but they're all interconnected through little doorways. Cruella de Vil in her car there. That's a better view of her. Yeah, then Disney Clothier's next. Let's keep on going. This place is called Delicious Sweets. It's got some Mickey cookies and Rice Krispie Mickey type things in the Candy Palace. Let's go inside. That is a smell of candy. That really smells of M&M's, I wonder why. I think I'm going to have to try the Mickey chocolate cornflake cake in a minute, but we'll keep our tour for now. The final shop within that kind of long line of shops here has a photo pass section for you to print out photos you may have seen throughout the day. If you take down its number, then you can get them printed here. And that shop was called New Century Notions. So then on the opposite side of that, you've got ribbons and bows. I think this is just mini ears, if my memory serves me right. Oh, they got lounge flyers in here actually. Some mini ears. So then the final thing you've got here is Strollers wheelchair rental. This is where I got my photo pass on day 1, and there's Some generic merch. There's also a store down there with generic merch, and on the other side, just on the other side of the train station. Let's now walk up the other way. So we've done a full loop of the main street shops and restaurants. You've got Disneyland City Hall here, which is sort of their guest help information if you need any assistance at all. Probably also lost property in there. Then we've got the Storybook store. This is one of my favourites. You've got Huey, Dewey and Louie in the windows here. Got some of those books and that Art of Disneyland Paris book, which I adore. You've also got a Euro Disney vinyl, which I listen to all the time, the Spotify album of that. You've got loads of pins there. Huey, Dewey and Louie again, Donald. Von Drake, Clarabelle and Minnie. Oh, and who's that? Goofy as well. And then you've also got Monopoly here, which looks cool. And then the posters we've seen a few times. I love that Tower of Terror print. They weren't selling that as a big one you could customise in Disney Village. Okay, now we're going to take on the big boy on this left hand side of Main Street, the Emporium. It's mainly just generic merch in here, so a really quick walk through I think. Getting busier for the parade. We've got about 45 minutes to go. This in here is mania at the end of the day when fireworks ends. I mean, it's always busy, but yeah, to be avoided if you can, end of the day in here. But so it's just a lot of the generic merch we've seen already, plushes, the odd bits of woolly clothing like those hats and gloves, mini ears, and some generic tees. You've got Lily's Boutique, items for a home sweet home, and then Walt's Restaurant, which is a classy restaurant on Main Street. You can sit upstairs there, and I remember one time eating there while the parade came down, and that was pretty special, I gotta say. Some homeware stuff. I just stepped outside to make sure this was still Lily's Boutique, but this is all Lily's Boutique. Well, I think this one has a different name. This is more of a plushie toy store. I'll check the name of this one in a second. That one was Disney and Co. Getting very busy for parade. And this is Casey's, where we ate the other day, on day one, first thing we did. And there's your tour of Main Street. It's starting to rain here, which isn't the best for the parade about to start. It's kind of carnage on Main Street, so I kind of want to escape. So I don't think we'll go for the Rice Krispie face thing. We might go for an ice cream from Fantasyland and then take that to the start of the parade route. Could be the play here, to avoid the crowds. Who's getting an ice cream in the rain? Okay, I actually went to the old mill for this pizza type thing with ham. It was €7, and it's two sides to that. The other side's in the extra bag. Because I thought, oh, it's Snow White, my goodness. Hello. Bonjour. Because I thought this will be a little bit nicer than having the ice cream. And the ice cream queue was actually, well, not big, but there was still a bit of a queue, and I thought I'd better get my spot for the parade. stood just there behind a pole with rope next to it, and he said this is the limit, letting people cross over, right? But as soon as the parade began, and I was behind two people, as soon as the parade began, he moved the rope to completely block it off so that people couldn't cross the road, and then I snuck into the front. Would highly recommend going there. Had a great view, that was amazing. It also means you're now the right side of the parade to sneak into Fantasyland while the rest of the park are watching it on Main Street, and get a ride on one of the Fantasyland dark rides. Maybe Snow White. Snow White's looking real good. Looking like a go. What about Pinocchio? Pinocchio, they're going in. Also looking good. But not as good as Snow White, I don't think. We'll go for her. Yeah, peeking through Pinocchio's window, this was definitely shorter. Which is pretty in line with what we've seen all trip. So now they've fully opened up all the cattle pens in there, and it's external, all within the space of about 5 to 10 minutes. That's what happens once the parade ends. Ooh, and Pinocchio's is real bad. To prove that I'm a fair individual, I want to commend the Snow White team, because even though there wasn't a big queue, he was calling down twos left, right and centre. He was like trying to get, there was a group of 3 who wanted to go in 2 rows. He was like, no, the children are small enough, we'll go in the front row together, just so that he could maximise the throughputs. Compare that with yesterday's Pinocchio team, who would have a group of 3 and 2 would literally ask from the queue, can we join? And he was like, nah. It wasn't like he was new or anything, he was just so blasé, relaxed about it all. That's what I like to see on Snow White, good job. Ironically, they're probably the same team, I don't know how it works here. I don't know if you just get one ride or zones, but yeah, whoever they were on there just then, good job. Right, we're going to Adventureland. Not the Peter Pan adventure, Peter Pan's flight I should say. The adventure of the Peter Pan's flight. We will be doing that tomorrow, that is mission number 1 on the final day. We'll be finally getting our ride in on Peter. I'm making you guys have to tune in on day 5. I'm keeping you in suspense, but we'll do that in early magic time. Adventureland for pirates, I think. Says it's a 5-minute queue.
Please stay with you.
Always go left, always go left, always go left. They've even just said it on the tannoy, use the left line because no one was going. I'm straight down. Pirates was as great as ever. Now going from one high capacity boat ride to another, gonna head to Small World. Also, in all the excitement of doing seeing the parade, I didn't say how my pizza slice thing was. That ham thing was pretty good. Definitely worth the money, I'd say. Very yummy. It was warm and filled a hole on this cold day. Looks like grey skies might be ahead. Good, we're going inside. Fountains are back on today, that's good news. if I'd ever noticed until this trip that a cowboy and a native Indian are the final two puppets that appear at the end of It's a Small World, just before you go through the tunnel at the end. Two completely different cultures and ways of life, which ended up both cohabiting America. Clearly the messaging being it's a small world after all, let's share. But of course, the Western Americans who made Disneyland would probably say let's share, yes, wouldn't they? But in fairness, I think they chose a cowboy instead of like an American pioneer, so that it was less controversial. If you had like a pioneer and a Native American, that would be a bit more troubling. The cowboys didn't have too much conflict with them. I like my history. I like my history. There are many accounts of the cowboys and the Indians being friends. Anywho, history lesson delivered by someone who's very much not qualified over. I decided to go for dinner relatively early. It's now 7:15 because I want to make the most of the last 2 or so hours of riding. So we made it back to Frontierland to go to the Unlucky Nugget. So this restaurant, you sit down as if it's table silver service, but it's not like you give a tip and the waiter's pouring your water or anything like that. But it's a little classier than your average quick service restaurant, and they give you nice silverware to eat with, which is a treat when you're used to wooden knives and forks at most of the restaurants. Oh, no way! They've literally just put the Unlucky Nugget sign up, which is what they do for Halloween. Oh wow, because that was not the case yesterday, huh? Wow, perfect timing to eat there then. I think we'll go for the pork spare ribs or the Lucky Nuggets crispy chicken. I think that must just be for Halloween. They've got Phantom Manor on top of a cake. Is this Melanie's wedding day? Have I been invited to the saloon after party? They've got all cobwebs over the lights as well. So you pay at the cash register when you come in, and then they said they'll bring it all to you. So, I don't know. I guess they know where I am. It was 25 euros, but with my discount it was 21.25. That includes a drink, the main meal itself, which I went for the chicken nuggets and the fries or the chicken tenders, and a dessert as well, a caramel ice cream, or you can go for chocolate or strawberry. I'm just sat here thinking about all the presents and the cake with the Phantom Manor on the top. I reckon it is. This was meant to be Melanie's after party, perhaps, and it's called the Unlucky Nugget because, of course, he wasn't lucky enough to make it to the aisle. The husband got killed by the Phantom, and so there'll be no wedding party for us. Yet again, just the subtle storytelling of the land just keeps going, and it lets you fill in the gaps, which I think is great for an analytical mind. Coca-Cola in a glass. It's not something you see every day at a quick service restaurant. As I said, it's weird. It's sort of quick service meets silver sit down, as it were. A proper dine-in restaurant. That is an incredibly hearty portion. My goodness. Looks good. It's turning into a misty night after eating at the Unlucky Nugget. Let me tell you about the food. Pretty yummy. The chicken could have been better. Wasn't much going on, wasn't that juicy. The chips were nice though. But yeah, the breadcrumbing on the chicken as well wasn't doing much. There was a sweet chili sauce with it. I had a few dips, it was okay, but sweet chili sauce isn't really my thing. Sorry, the camera I think is getting wet. The dessert was delicious. Whew, that was really good. Caramel sundae. And yeah, was that it? Oh, and the Coke was, Disney Coke's always good, but just the atmosphere in there was great. I loved that Unlucky Nugget with the, as I said, the implication being that the bridal party would have gone back to the Lucky Nugget saloon, but unfortunately they never made it out of the Manor. Speaking of which, let's go for a misty ride. Just in there, Melanie just appeared in the window, but I don't think this camera is going to be able to pick that up. Anyway, let's head in. Oh, misty, misty. Oh, might be our last night ride on it now. Now we're on the penultimate day. I'll be getting a 6 o'clock flight tomorrow. So our last chance to see Disney in the dark before I head home. And what a sight it is to see. Let's try and work out why Melanie never made it to the Lucky Nugget. Don't tell me something went wrong with the wedding. God, I love these two. I think I'm going to go for the Phantom Manor poster and the Big Thunder Mountain poster and send them home. I've got to. They're just two world-class attractions.
It appears everyone is doomed at Phantom Manor. Even you? I didn't mean to frighten you.
Oh man, oh man. That's how it's done right there. Le Phantom Manor. There are effects in there my camera will never be able to pick up. But such clever uses of lights and mirrors. Not just pepper ghosts, but other stuff as well in there. It's incredible. Melanie's up there in the window. I can't not go for a ride on Thunder with it looking that good in the fog. Let's go to the wildest ride in the wilderness. Yeehaw! I think there is something psychological about the positioning of both of those rides. With Big Thunder Mountain being in the middle of a lake, you just want to get out across there and see what's waiting on that island. And the same goes for Phantom Manor being on top of Boot Hill. I think there's something about it being elevated there that your innate sense of humanity wanting to explore just makes you want to get up there and find out the secrets of the manor. Such smart theme park design. Another amazing ride on Big Thunder Mountain in the dark, and unlike the other day it wasn't raining. But if you want to see a bunch of POVs from that, what was it, 2 nights ago I got on that ride 4 times in the rain on slick tyres. And it was fantastic, but that was equally as good. Also, fair play to the team, the whole cattle pen on the inside was full I was off the ride within half an hour, and I queued a bit outside that cow pen as well. Yeah, great ops. Now I think we're going to head over to Space Mountain and Discoveryland, because we found that hack yesterday that you get a great view of the drones on that side of the plaza for the fireworks. So we're going to go that way, try and do a ride or maybe two at most there before fireworks begin in 28 minutes. It's busy on the plaza. I'm going to try and navigate my way around to get to Discoveryland. Okay, we survived navigating that path. Now we're in Neon Land. Gosh, Space Mountain's new lighting package does look good. Anyway, yeah, let's try and head there first maybe. We could do the Orbitron, but if I do that, that might be the end of my night. Because I do want to get to the fireworks 4:09 exactly, so I can see the drones from the first few songs, as I missed those yesterday on Autopia. We could have a look at how busy Orbitron is on the way through, but yeah, Space Mountain or Star Tours could be the play. Oh, looks busy. Looks busy. I think we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do Peter Pan in the morning because we've not done that yet, and then sort of relatively soon after that, we'll sneak on Hyperspace Mountain. Hyperspace Orbitron. In fairness, Space Mountain's saying 20 minutes, but I'm hoping that we slightly exaggerated. There's no Premier access this time of night, really, so we'll fly through. Fingers crossed. Famous last words. I mean, really, it would have to be back here-ish for it to be 20 minutes, so I don't think it is. God, I'm really falling back in love with Hyperspace Mountain. That was great. It's that, hear the music? That comes on as soon as you leave the station, and you're just in the mood. You're in the mood for a intergalactic adventure. God, that was cool. And then at the end, this Aussie dad and daughter were sitting in front of me, and he got off and he just went, "Cool, blimey!" There it goes. He went, he didn't say "cool, blimey," actually. His exact words were, "Unbelievable." And it is, it's unbelievable. It was truly great. Wow, what a special ride. As I said, really growing, and they just do the all the effects and lasers and all that so much better than Flight Force next door. God, that was cool. What a great way to wrap up the riding for today. I think I'm going to go to the loo. We've got 10 minutes till fireworks. See that little light beam at the top? That's one of the new lighting packages on there. So cool. So cool. The other great thing about this viewing area in Discoveryland, this plot of land I was on the other day, it's slightly raised up. You wouldn't know it at first glance, but your head is naturally above most of the people below you who are on Main Street. So you have a great view of the projections as well. Anyway, let's enjoy. No rain, so hopefully drones will be up. My camera's not picking up very well, but those lights, faint lights, new spotlights from Space Mountain look great. I mean, I'm 5'11", so I've already got a bit of an advantage, but I think even your kids, if you brought them into this section, would be fine. Or, you know, move them even further back, and because it just gets slightly higher the further back you go here.
Disney Tales of Magic. Let it take you back to the first time you felt it. All the stars in your sky, do you remember all the adventure? Find it in your mind, in the sun. Find it in the art, find it in the film, wherever you are. You don't have to look too far. Shall we be together now? If it
You see, he lives in you. And the spirit of life calling. It lives in you. The art is over. Everything we see. Till we find out.
Find your magic, embrace it, and pass it on.
So many huge spotlights which they put in for this show. Just lighting up the sky. I was just talking to a nice couple from LA who I met in the Space Mountain queue, and they were trying to take a photo in front of the castle, so I said I'd take one for them, and then they were kind enough to take one for me. I said I wasn't trying to get you to take a photo of me, I apologise if that's how it seemed. They said no, you're all good. And we were arguing over what's better here or California, and the girl said Disneyland is more Disney, but this is prettier, and I would agree. If you want your quintessential Disney experience, then you know Disneyland is the place to go. But this place is on another level when it comes to sort of quaint and cuteness. And then we were also arguing over Phantom Manor or Haunted Mansion, and she said, oh, but we prefer the Haunted Mansion Holiday. And that I can't comment on, as I'm yet to do the Jack Skellington overlay, but I hope to one day, hopefully in the near future. But yeah, those fireworks were cool again, as usual. The drones looked much better today because I think it wasn't windy. So you really got the actual outlines of the alien and, well, actually not the outlines, you had the outlines yesterday, but today you got more of the details of the alien and Zurg. It turns out there were no drones in the first few songs anyway, so I didn't miss any drones yesterday. But yeah, if you come to Disneyland in the near future, I'd say watch it once by Discoveryland, so you can see the projections, the fountains up close and fireworks up close and the drones. And then once at the end of Main Street, after doing... My camera cut out, that was weird. Yeah, one night you want to do Space Mountain or Discoveryland night rides and then watch it from that side, and then another night you want to do Big Thunder Mountain and Phantom Manor night rides, and then go down the arcade I showed you in the other vlog and watch it at the end of the Main Street so you can see all the projections they're now putting on Main Street as well. That would be my advice to you, and you don't have to take it if you don't want to, but that's what I'd suggest, now having seen that show four times in the last 4 days. That about wraps it up, Ratatouille. That about wraps it up for day 4. Thank you very much for watching. We got 1 day left. It's more of a half day tomorrow, but we are going to get on Peter Pan. We're going to be early magic timing this park tomorrow. Peter Pan, Orbitron's coming up, some re-rides and some more food. So keep your eyes out, and thank you for watching.